Seiko 5 GMT review. Long ago during the double-digit era of the Two Broke Watch Snobs podcast, I said something that may have ticked a few folks off. I mentioned something about the SSK007 style case being superior to that of the Rolex Submariner, and that if Seiko ever fitted that case with the GMT movement, it would be somewhat of an endgame watch for me. Not long after, the watch community wrestled with rumors of the SSK007 S26 divers being discontinued, and eventually the truth was revealed. In 2019, Seiko announced the entirely revamped Seiko 5 Sports collection, which made way for the Seiko 5 Sports GMT, a watch I could only dream of until now. If you're brave enough to scour the depths of old watch forum posts, you'll probably find some weird experiments where collectors would try to fit GMT movements into an SSK007. I know, because even I considered that freakish mod at some point. But now, Seiko has completely removed the need for such strange modding, and at the same time, introduced a movement into the market that is about to transform affordable automatic GMT watch offerings everywhere. I may be getting ahead of myself here, so let's focus on the new Seiko 5 Sports GMT SSK005. Specs, and all that cool stuff. Even after doing this podcast and watch site thing for over 5 years, I still don't own a set of calipers. But I can assure you that if you're even moderately familiar with the older Seiko SSK divers, you already have a great idea of what the stainless steel case of this new Seiko 5 GMT wears like. That 42.5 mm case diameter is still there, along with a case thickness of 13.6 mm and a lug-to-lug distance of 46 mm. Come to think of it, the biggest change between this and an older SSK may be in the case thickness, due to Seiko fitting these with an exhibition case back. And in typical Seiko fashion, those melted-looking lugs with combined brushed and polished finishing really lead the watch to wear much smaller. One of my favorite design features of the SSK divers is the asymmetrical placement of the crown and crown guards. You still get that with the SSK005, but in this case, it comes with a push or pull crown and 100 mm of water resistance. Now, I'm still wrestling with this and sometimes think a screw-down crown plus a 200 mm water resistance rating would have made this perfect. But as Spencer Klein demonstrated with a quick pressure test, the case can clearly handle whatever I put it through. And if that's not enough to keep you from fetishizing screw-down crowns, remember, the TR900 didn't have a screw-down crown either. So I guess I have to wonder, is this new GMT series it? The perfect Seiko I used to dream of years earlier? Well, the automatic movement with manual winding function, the killer price point, and classic Seiko looks get me pretty close. And heck, it's an in-house GMT movement from Seiko. Finally, I think it's difficult to articulate how important that is, especially when it comes in at $475. But the one thing that would really only stop me here is the dial color. Something about the orange paired with the sunray pattern just didn't do it for me. Silly, I know, but thankfully there are other colors available, and I'm sure there are plenty more versions on the horizon. I think aside from the revamped Seiko Arnie divers, this is one of the best Seiko releases in recent years. I'd like to go hands-on with the black and blue versions to see if they'd stick. But if you're on the fence and curious about quality of finishing, I'd say just go for it. Wear the heck out it, put it through its paces, and enjoy it. Before long, you won't even remember that it doesn't have a screw-down crown.